Today, I'm back with another mega collection video for you all. Today, I'm going to be showing off my war genre collection. Anything from ancient to modern war, or any movie that involves military people of some sort, I'm going to show off right now. My 4Ks, Blu-rays, steelbooks, slipcovers, you name it, you're all going to see it. I'm going to go through the entire piles here, saying a little bit about each movie as we go through them, but let's get right into it. So off the top of the pile, in no particular order, we got the Hurt Locker. This one was a total blind buy for me, but I really liked the look of the steelbook. I thought, you know what, let me give it a try. Lionsgate has done a great job with their steelbooks, and so, you know, not a bad price, so let's take a look at it. And this one stars Jeremy Renner. This is also a movie that won Best Picture at the Oscars, so I was really intrigued by it. I'm trying to see all the Best Picture winners, so I had to see it sometime. And wow, this movie was really intense and suspenseful. Jeremy Renner's character is basically someone in the military that has to deactivate bombs before they go off, so it makes some really intense moments. You're like, oh my goodness, is he gonna get out of this? Wow, this is very suspenseful. So I did like this movie, and they put some heart into it as well. Some interactions he has with a kid character at basically a stand that sells disc, physical media, which I thought was really interesting to throw in there. So all around, I did enjoy seeing this movie. So nice little pickup with having this in steelbook form. So yeah, definitely can recommend this one out to people if you haven't seen it yet. Next, let's get into our second one here. We got Darkest Hour. Now, ooh, I really like this movie. This movie I think is very underrated. I don't hear a lot of people talk about this one, but you got Gary Oldman playing Winston Churchill, and wow, he does a phenomenal performance. He actually won Best Actor for this performance at the Oscars, and so well deserved, because he just blends into this character and you can't even tell it's him. I mean, Gary Oldman just does a great job with characters like this. And so, wow, really interesting movie if you like the politics side of war. So it is more talking and, you know, discussions and yelling, you know, through politics, of course. But I find that stuff fascinating, you know, the kind of behind the curtain stuff. So not as much like seeing action-packed war moments. If you're going into this movie expecting that, no, you're not going to get it. But if you're really fascinated by just the politics of it all, then yeah, this movie to me was really intriguing. And just for the Gary Oldman performance alone, totally worth it. So really like having this one. Darkest Hour, definitely enjoyed this one. But it's not for everyone. This one definitely put my fiance to sleep in the theater. So it's not going to be for everyone, but it was for me. Next, we have a nice little collection set here, I guess you could call it. We have Apocalypse Now, Francis Ford Coppola. Now this was a blind buy for me, but this got super duper cheap. It was like under 15 bucks for this really nice 4K box set. And I'm like, you know what, let's give it a try at this price. Why not? And wow, it just looks so nice with all the colors. I just really like the way it looks, you know, how it sits on the shelf. It's a 6-disc set, which is really nice. So I had to put it on there, and you get a lot of awesome performances in here, and you know, some well-known actors that weren't so well-known during this movie. You have Lawrence Fishburne in there, who was actually really young at the time. You have Martin Sheen in there, and many more, and some, you know, quotable lines from this movie. Definitely some really memorable scenes, like the helicopter scene. I thought was, you know, with the music, when the music goes on, you're just like, ooh, we're into this. So yeah, this is a 6-disc set, so you get all the different versions of the movies in this one. So yeah, you know what, I say it's definitely worth a watch. Now, how many times am I going to rewatch this one? Probably not as much as some of the others, but it's at least definitely worth one watch. But this is during the Vietnam War time, I believe. So yes, Apocalypse Now. Gotta check that one out, especially if you can get that box set really cheap, then might as well own it at that point. Next, we have a steelbook here. We got 1917 4K steelbook here, and wow, this movie was just visually stunning. Just how they did those editing techniques to make it look like it was all in one continuous shot and how they filmed it. I mean, that was outstanding. You really do believe that, oh, they're just filming it all in one continuous shot. Now, they do a few little tricks here and there with the editing to kind of fool you in some parts. But I mean, wow, it is really nice looking nonetheless. And that's what I can say about this movie. It looks really nice. It does sound great as well. Now, in terms of the story, you know, it's nothing we haven't seen before in terms of a story for a movie. This is a World War I movie, though, but it's basically somebody trying to get a message out to somebody else. Pretty much the basic premise there. But yeah, it's, you know, the story is okay. It's fine. But just visually, the cinematography, everything in terms of how it looks is fantastic. So this one also, I believe, got some recognition at the Oscars, if I'm not mistaken. But really nice steelbook. I do like this one, 1917. Gotta have this one. Yeah, it wasn't too bad on the price either, from what I remember. All right, next, okay, this is going to be ancient war times here. I had to throw this one in this pile. I didn't know if I was going to include it, but I did at the end of the day. We got 300. So yeah, it's not modern war. Yes, I guess you could consider it a swords and sandal kind of movie. But you know what? It's ancient war, right? Because it is based on some historical events of, you know, what these Spartans actually did. And wow, what a fascinating story, you know, adapted from a graphic novel. I think it was it Frank Miller, I believe, the graphic novel. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But just a really good, entertaining movie. Very stylized, just visually, how they put this movie together. But some memorable moments, memorable scenes, memorable lines. This is for Sparta. I mean, yeah, very entertaining movie. Very easily watchable. And yeah, it's not, you know, 100%, you know, actual. Of course, there's some fantasy elements in there, of course. But the basic premise was there, so I decided to include this one in the pile. Looks great on 4K as well. Really nice to have this one on the shelf. Looks really good with the coloring right there. So yeah, 300. Definitely can recommend everybody checking this one out. Very entertaining. Very, very entertaining. All right, next we're going to, a good one right here. We got Top Gun, the original one, the Steelbook edition, 4K, Tom Cruise. Now, this movie is really, really entertaining. It's a great 80s style movie. Now, it's not really like war military action for most of it. I mean, really, you only get like a dogfight at the end of the movie. So yeah, it's more about the academy, the school itself for these naval pilots. But it's still interesting. It's still intriguing. I like the idea here. I liked all the characters in here. You got Goose, Iceman by Val Kilmer. So yeah, really awesome cast here. Good performances. Very fun movie. Yeah, you got the 80s cheese in there. It's like the beach volleyball scene. Totally get it. But still a lot of fun. And then now we got Top Gun Maverick, which is absolutely outstanding and takes up this movie to a few different new levels or new heights, you could say. So you got to see this one before you see Maverick. But I can't wait to get Maverick into the collection. But this is a good starting point. Still really enjoy this one. But yeah, nice little steelbook to have in the collection. I like how they did the colors. It's like sky, which is really, really nice. I like this one. All right, next in the pile. Now, I kind of debated putting this one too, but I decided to anyway. We got Lord of War. So this is a Nicolas Cage movie, but I just so like this one. I had to include it in the pile. You also get Jared Leto in here. You get Ethan Hawke. So really good cast. But this is one of Nicolas Cage's better performances in my opinion. Basically, he's like an arms dealer. And they call him the Lord of War because, I mean, without him, how do these wars happen, right? There has to be, you know, there's someone there that's also supplying these armies with weapons, right? So that's why they call him, he is the Lord of War. So very intriguing, kind of like, you know, behind the curtains, you know, type of movie scene. Okay, so that's how that would happen. Wow, okay. Just a fascinating character study in there as well. Like I said, great performances all around and very intriguing movie. It does get a little too long. You could have maybe shaved a little bit off of this runtime here. but overall, still a really good movie. One I can definitely watch over and over again because it has a thriller element to it. So yeah, can highly recommend Lord of War if you haven't seen this one yet. Yes, one of my favorite Nick Cage movies there. All right, next. Oh, this was another one I debated on because I'm like, it's not really in like military war action right now, but I'm still gonna include it. Commando. You got Arnold here in this movie. Yeah, he's retired at this point. From a basically like special ops assignments, but I'm like, you know what? I'm still gonna count it here because it used to, be surrounding with war, and yeah, you get some awesome action in here. Good Arnold movie, some memorable lines, some moments you will laugh at in the movie. So yeah, this one's definitely worth a watch as well. Not my favorite Arnold movie, no, nothing like that, but still enjoyable. If you're an action fan, you're gonna really like this one. So how to include Commando in this pile as well. All right, next, let's get into more of a classic one. We got The Guns of Navarone. Now, this was a blind buy for me as well, but I heard great things about the movie. Apparently, these are really good all-star classic actors like Gregory Peck. And so this is kind of more of an adventure, like special ops kind of movie rather than, like a military like explosive action from start to finish. No, it's not that. More of like an adventure special ops kind of assignment, and I thought that was really fascinating and intriguing how this group of people basically they had to take out their assignment is to take out some weapons, so then these Navy ships could come in without this group taking out these weapons, then the Navy ships would have been all destroyed, kind of assignment. So I thought that was really fascinating and intriguing. So really good score here. I do like this for a classic movie, but no, it is very classic. So you got to enjoy classic movies. If you don't like classic movies, this one's a little bit slower. You're probably not going to like it. But if you're okay with classic movies, I do think The Guns of Navarone is one of the better classic ones. I did enjoy this one myself. And you know what? It was by Kino. Well, actually, no, this one is not. Oh, I almost thought this one was by Kino Lorber for a second. Maybe it's not. No, because I don't see the KL on it. No, this isn't a Kino Lorber release. I don't know what, I was getting mixed up with another one. So I guess just a studio release on this one, but still a really good movie to have on 4K. Nice slipcover, and I even ordered this one pretty late, and it still came with the slipcover, so you might get lucky on it. But yeah, definitely enjoyed watching that one time. Haven't gone back and rewatched it yet, so I don't know how much rewatchability it is there, but it's still nice to have in the collection at least. All right. Oh, you know what? I was getting it mixed up with this one because I'm like, I know I have a Kino Lorber, a classic war movie in here, but it's this one right here. So we have The Great Escape. Now, I heard great things about this one being recommended as, a piece of cinema history everybody has to see. So I'm like, okay, let me check this out. Let me see what I think about it. Now, they do have I believe, a Criterion release of this one as well on Blu-ray. And then now, of course, they have the Kino Lorber one of this one. But I heard the Kino Lorber one was actually a little bit better visually. So I went with this one with the 4K here. Nice slipcover, I like it. And yeah, this movie looked great for being a classic movie. Really interesting premise as well. More of kind of a thriller premise. Basically, these people trying to escape from a prison. Really just to kind of throw off the enemy armies, because if these enemy soldiers now have to go looking for these people to return them to the prison, right? Prisoners of war, then they're using resources and time to try to recapture all these people, and that's going to hurt them on the military war front. So I guess that was the basic idea for this premise. You get really good performances in here. Get Steve McQueen in there, so some good classic actors there. And yeah, it was just interesting to see how all these prisoners of war work together, and ones from different countries as well, to plan this massive escape. You dig underground and get out of this prison. Really interesting to see all the little techniques and strategies they came up with. So yeah, quite fascinating. I did enjoy this one. I've only watched it one time though, so I haven't had the urge to go back and rewatch it again yet, but it's still a solid movie. I think everybody should watch this one. But once again, classic movie. Got to be okay with slower movies, but all around did enjoy this one. So yeah, gonna recommend this one out there as well if you're okay with the classics. But yeah, gotta watch The Great Escape at least once in a lifetime, I think. And Kino Lorber did a fantastic job on that release. Tons and tons of special features. You can just go hours and hours through them. So really good job, Kino Lorber, on that release. All right, next we got a Civil War time here with Gone with the Wind, another classic movie that a lot of people recommend. Hey, you have to see this one as a movie fan sometime in your lifetime. This was a Best Picture winner, so 70th anniversary edition, very classic movie here. Now, this movie I'm kind of torn on because to me it runs as basically like two halves of a movie. I do like the first half where it's more of a focus on, I guess, the Civil War and like the outcomes of the Civil War. That's more intriguing to me, so I like the first half. But then you get into the intermission, and then after that, to me, it becomes more of a family drama story, which I didn't care for as much. I wasn't intrigued by the second half really. So even though there is some, quotable line in there, definitely for the second half, but to me, first half was just more fascinating when they're focusing on the Civil War part of it. I thought that was more intriguing myself. But a lot of people, say this is, one of the greatest filmmaking achievements of all time. So it's one you gotta watch, Best Picture winner. Yeah, don't know how many times I'm gonna rewatch it though, because it's so long. I think it's close to 4 hours. It's just like, woo, and you feel the length on it. I mean, you gotta plan out a whole day on this movie to watch this one, but you gotta watch it sometime. Really good score too, and I like how they do the intermission with the score over the intermission. So I do like all of that too, and just visually, this movie has some nice cinematography as well, good costume designs, all of that greatness. So yeah, gotta see this one at least once. All right, next, another classic one here. All right, we got The Bridge on the River Kwai. I heard great things about this movie as well, so I wanted to pick up the 4K. Now, this one does have a steelbook version that came out recently, so if you want to go with the steelbook, you can. I just got the regular 4K, though, some time ago, 60th Anniversary Edition, and I want to say, this one is a Best Picture winner too, I believe. I think so. And yeah, to me, this movie is definitely a slow burn, way, way, way too long of a movie. Once it gets to actually like the bridge scenes and, the plot to try to take out the bridge and all of that, that's to me when it becomes very intense and suspenseful and very thrilling. But the beginning of this movie, it just takes forever to get going. Very, very long movie as well. So I don't know how many times I'm going to rewatch this movie. Maybe just go watch, once again, the bridge and the train scenes towards the end. But yeah, it's a classic movie. Very well known. Has a lot of recognition. So, you know what? You got to see this one in a lifetime at least once. Just don't know how much rewatchability you would get out of it. So yeah, got that. The Bridge on the River Kwai. All right, next, a little bit more of a modern one here. We have American Sniper. This has a Bradley Cooper in it. And wow, this is, is based on a true story and very fascinating story. This movie was directed by Clint Eastwood here. I think Clint Eastwood is a pretty good director. So at least very well known anyway. But I really do like this one. Very good character study to see, what this actual person went through, just decisions they had to make, and just the intensity to it, being basically that role in the military. So very interesting story, more modern of a movie. So if you like only modern military movies, then you're probably really going to like this one. Once again, fascinating character study, and I think Bradley Cooper does a great job in this performance. He really goes into this role here. So yeah, no complaints on this movie at all. Definitely enjoyed this one. This one I could see myself watching more often. It's shorter than some of the classic movies here. But yeah, this one was very intriguing of a movie. Really, really well done movie. So American Sniper, got to check it out at least once. All right, next we got another Clint Eastwood movie, And we got 1517 to Paris. This one I debated a little bit. Should I put it on? It's not like war military action. It's different. It's about people that were in the military and then they get involved in a like train situation. They have to take out someone. That's obviously going to cause a lot of this terror on a train. And yeah, so it was just a fascinating story between these friends. Some of them, I believe, I wonder, were all three in the military? I'm trying to remember now if all three of the friends were in the military. But it basically just shows, their background story, how they, what they went through to kind of gain these heroic traits. Because Clint Eastwood likes to make movies on heroes, right? Real life hero kind of stories. That's why he did American Sniper. Same thing with this one, 1517 to Paris. So this is a pretty fascinating story. It's an easy watch too. Now they actually do use the real life heroes in the acting roles as well. Clint Eastwood said he wanted to do that, make it more authentic, and it just fit up better. So, you know what? You can tell the performances a little bit, obviously not like they're well-seasoned actors. You can tell that, but to me, for the story that was being told, I do agree with Clint Eastwood here. You had to have used the real heroes. I think it works out just fine in the end. And yeah, very just intriguing, fascinating, true story here with real-life heroes. I mean, what more can you ask for? So yeah. The 1517 to Paris. Not a bad, easy watch here of a movie. So you like Clint Eastwood movies, got to check this one out. All right, next we have a little bit more deeper and longer movie here. So powerful, this one here. We have Schindler's List. Now this one is a really tough movie to watch, just with all the horrific scenes in there. I mean, from some people can't even get through this one, and a lot of people don't like to go back and rewatch this one ever again. But, this movie is just so powerful, such an interesting story, once again, based on a true story with Schindler. Very intriguing just to find out what happened with all this. I really didn't know too much about it before watching this movie, but really a fascinating story. This one's a longer movie, too. It's over 3 hours for sure. But to me, very few movies justify the long run times. I don't really like long runtime movies, but this movie is, out of a handful, I would say, that justify the long runtime. You're engaged throughout this movie, fascinated throughout this movie, and really sticking through these characters throughout the movie. So I think this movie justifies the runtime. I don't say that a lot with movies, but this one definitely does. Also, it's filmed in black and white. Gives it kind of an interesting style to it. And this is a Steven Spielberg movie, if I'm remembering correctly. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. But yeah, Steven Spielberg is the GOAT, of course. Does a great job with this movie. So great direction in here. Just great writing, performances, acting. I mean, everything just is great in this movie, but it is a really horrific movie. Yeah, can be tough to watch for some people, but I would say give it a try. At least deserves one watch. And I have the 4K Steelbook, 25th anniversary edition, which was really nice. And I think I got this one when it was pretty cheap, and I just couldn't resist it. I had to pick it up for the collection. So yeah, Schindler's List. Yeah, I recommend this one, at least checking it out one time. I know I'm saying that for like a lot of movies here, but a lot of these movies do deserve at least one watch to know, hey, what happened, these historical events, these real life people, these real life stories. So intriguing. All right, next we have a slipcover here, and we got Midway 4K slipcover here. I actually really did like this movie. I don't think everybody was a fan of this one, and I was surprised. I actually really did enjoy this one. I think this movie told the Pacific War in World War II the best out of any movie I've seen before. So telling it, the Pacific War perspective, I thought was really, really intriguing. And I thought this one was very modern, and how they did it visually looked stunning. So yeah, really fascinating story with all the characters, based on real life characters and events, all of that. So I think this movie is a little underrated. I would say give this one a watch if you're a fan of modern telling of war movies. Definitely a decent little watch here. So I do enjoy this one myself. And so that is my entire war collection for that genre from my physical media collection. I know I'm missing a whole lot in there. I gotta add more to the collection. So there's ones I want to get when I see some good deals on them, but definitely give me some recommendations in the comments below. Let me all know what are some essential war movies I have to pick up, add to the collection. Maybe they look great and sound great in 4K. Give me all those recommendations down below. And if you're just discovering the channel for the very first time and you love collecting physical media and being part of this amazing mega fan community, make sure you subscribe right now to stay entertained and up to date on all the latest physical media topics.
Come on. Do it. Do it. Come on. Come on.
And if you like this physical media topic video, click another video to see more. Also, like the video, and this is Mega Mike the Movie Man reminding you to make every day a movie day.